Sorry, go ahead, Key.
I didn't say nothing.
Nah, Max and the royal family.
Well, you said when you think of Russell Wilson, what do you think?
No, I was going to let you go. I wasn't going to step on you.
I just don't like the way that you guys are positioning me as best friends with Russell Wilson.
Do you not have a relationship with Russell Wilson?
I've met Russell Wilson 2 times. Okay. But it's like you guys are saying, I go to London with him. I spend time, I don't, why, how did we come to this? How did I get put in this corner?
I think you're in a corner. It seems to me, Key, that Jay has always touted his relationship with Russell Wilson.
Oh, Key looks flabbergasted, as if I'm bringing this out of left field.
So,
just think about what you just said, Jay.
Flabbergasted. That word. So flabbergasted now gives me association with Russell Wilson. Give me association with Michael Eric Dyson. I'll take it. Flabbergasted. Say big words.
I didn't say.
Professor Dyson probably listening to us right now.
This is what happens.
No, all I said, Jay, was think about what you said. You said flabbergasted. I didn't say it. I just said think about what you just said, and I wasn't even talking about flabbergasted. I was talking about the initial conversation that you were having about us pitting you with Russell Wilson. You said flabbergasted, not me.
Keep saying the word.
He was dumbfounded when you said flabbergasted, as a matter of fact.
But I wasn't.
Anybody that says flabbergasted, now we're associated. I got it.
Well, listen.
Go ahead, Max. Take it away.
I don't know what issue you could possibly.
Hey.
Ones you can't depend on. You could drop this Houdini album today. I would love every song on it today. All right. Russell Wilson says he worked out for 4 hours during the Broncos' 8-hour flight to London. That's half the time.
Why even say this?
Well, in his mind, apparently he's saying something that puts him in a good light, right? You don't say stuff that puts you in a bad light normally. Here he is on what he did on the flight to London. Listen to this.
It was an 8-hour flight here. That's the first 2 hours I was watching the film, watching all the cut-ups and everything else. And then for the next 4 hours, I was doing treatment on the plane. I was walking up and down the aisles. Everybody was knocked out. I was doing high knees and working on my legs and everything else, making sure I'm ready to rock. So that was good. And then the last 2 hours, the last hour of that, I fell asleep for 1 hour, and I watched the film the rest. So I feel great, ready to roll. Super locked in and ready to hopefully get a big win in London.
Is Key, look, on the one hand, you could say, well, he's saying stuff like this for show or doing it for show. Look at me. Look how I'm the quarterback, I'm a leader. On the other hand, he's probably asked a point-blank question about, like, what'd you do on the flight, right? And he's answering it. So what do you take away from what he just said?
Yeah, he worked out. He did push-ups, sit-ups, jogs, whatever he did on the plane, he did it. What I took away from it is, okay, I didn't take anything away from it. Let me start over again. I want him to just stop. That's what I want. Just stop. Just stop with always telling somebody what you're doing and how you're doing it. Just be the quarterback of the team, man. Just do those sort of things. Because when I think about it, not like Russell. I like him a lot. I've interviewed him a bunch. I've been around him a bunch. But I don't need to hear that you worked out for 4 hours on a plane and you studied up the film and while everybody else was sleeping. Like, I don't need to hear those sort of things. It's not going to make me think, oh, God, you're doing everything right and nobody else is doing anything. They're just sitting on the plane and sleeping while you're so in tune with doing everything. Because what's going to happen, man, is the things that's happening to him now. People think he's phony. People think he's a phony. It's all an act. And it shouldn't be that way because he's a good football player when everything is going right. And I just hate to see this happening to him. And eventually, like Mark Slayer said on our show the other day, his teammates are going to start side-eyeing him if they haven't already. And Mark Slayer, we got some sound of him on our show about a week ago talking about this very thing.
obviously, you know what you're getting when he comes in, right? You know he's got the quirky, let's ride, and he's just a little bit, okay, we get it. You're Mr. Positivity all the time, and everything is happy and all that. And that's fine when you're winning, but the tone deafness, I think, is what gets to people. Like, hey, we just set the league back 50 years in the way we played on Thursday night against the Indianapolis Colts, and the next day I'm releasing my new hat line. Like, stuff like that wears on people. Like, everything right as I'm going into the stadium, there's a staged photo shoot as I go in. I know the social media team is posting it, but time and place, right? Let's understand the situation and how poorly we're playing as an offense and how poorly you're playing as a quarterback. And before we start promoting whatever it is we're promoting, let's actually play some decent football.
Well, so I agree with Mark and I disagree with Mark, right? Like, there is an element of Russell Wilson that is quirky, that seems a little bit cheesy, right? But you can't just all of a sudden change the schedule when you start promoting stuff because you're not playing well, right? You're still going to be a professional and do your Subway commercials, do all the things that you're supposed to be doing, right? So that's one. But it does feel interesting to me, though, Key, that I get he may not be the guy that everybody wants him to be. He may not be the guy that fits in, but I don't think he doesn't care. He still cares. Now, if it rubs teammates the wrong way that he's this way, I get it. But it's almost similar to Russell Westbrook in this regard, right? It seems like there is a compound type energy when these guys are down that it's like we're going to kick them extra hard while they're down. The same with Russell Westbrook, right? Like, is it? But when they start winning, it kind of goes away. But they both care about the way they play, and that says something to me. Like, it may not feel right, but at least they care. I know a lot of dudes who don't even care, who don't give a damn.
Quarterback of the team, Key, when you say Russell Wilson, just stop. You mean like if he's asked a question about what he did on the plane, you say something like, had a good flight, getting ready to, prepare.
There you go, Coach.
It's easy. It's not that hard.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold something till we get back out of our break, Max, and I'm going to read something to both you and Jay. And I'm going to let you know where this comes from after I read it to you.
Excellent. All right.
Okay.
So we want you to weigh in, too, after Key does that. What are some of your flight preferences, habits, traditions, right, on the subject of Russell Wilson? Plus, Aaron Rodgers stands by his comments on the Packers offense. First, Key has this from O'Reilly.
O'Reilly got your voice. You got to rest these. I need to go to your guy.
Yeah.
What?
Arthur Joseph. You never heard of this? You never heard of the whole voice warm-up? We had it's really unique. Unique New York, things like that you work on.
New York.
Jay allowed somebody to tell him he needed a voice coach or something.
Yeah. I mean, Arthur Joseph is he's class act, but they teach.
Oh, absolutely, class act.
With a name like Arthur Joseph, no kidding.
One of the greatest broadcasting coaches in the history of broadcasting.
Arthur Joseph sounds like he should have his name on a building somewhere, right?
It does sound like the Arthur Joseph.
But Jay,
the Arthur Joseph School.
Jay let somebody talk him into being a newscaster, though. That's
Palm was telling me just
Jay.
To be myself, Key. Just be yourself, Jay.
My agent told me to go. To visit the guy when I was coming out of college. And I went, I was like, Jay, you really getting ready to make me waste my money? Are you serious?
But Max, they make you put the index finger and your middle finger on your teeth and you rest your tongue in between. And the whole exercise is to, you talk
your diaphragm.
Your diaphragm. So that you go, That's what they make you do over and over and over and over.
Now we basically do that on this show all day.
That's what we do.
Hey, Jay, if you'd have continued to take those classes, you think Dion was on that guy the other day. Imagine what he did to you.
Can you imagine before doing the biggest events, like before you're doing the Super Bowl or NBA Finals, you're on the sideline. LeBron's like, what the hell are you doing?
You could be a part of Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max Nation on the Dr. Pepper call-in line. Call us at 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. ESPN Nation's presented by Dr. Pepper. It ain't college football season without the delicious taste of an ice cold Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve. Well, fellows, the Ravens at the Bucs on Thursday night. That's tonight.
That's tonight.
That is this. I mean, we've had some bad